What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're looking at a quite a huge box, as you can see. This is one that doesn't even fit in frame. This is a medium flat rate box that I'm going to be unboxing here with you guys. This one's coming via Shield Arms. Check out his channel if you haven't already. I believe this one's coming via the Lefty EDC knife pass around. So we're about to find out together. You may already know what's in here based on title and thumbnail. Just know you're getting my raw first impressions, reactions going into this box. So doing the honors today, we got the Kunwu Chad. Now I've been carrying this one here, the orange peel tie version, right? I have the diamond pattern tie as well. This is a loaner, whereas the diamond pattern tie version is my own. I love the Chad. I think that's a massive, to say that I really love the Chad will be a massive understatement. It's one of my favorite EDC knives of all time. Kunwu was right up there doing the biz, right? Delivering some of the best EDC knives, best value for dollar that you can possibly get right now in the EDC knife world. But this knife and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below. So if you're interested in finding out availability, prices, variants, and things like that, just check those links down below for more details. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you. So better be at least a handful of knives in here or just a shoebox. What's going on here? Well, first things first, we got a bunch of peanuts. Right, that's always a good size. All right, these are nice and protected. Man, did it just rain knives in here. We got one, we got two, we got three. That's a lot of knives. Three so far, right? And counting. We got four, right? Another one, and another one, and another one. Five. I think what it is all these lined up around the same time, so he just sent them all to me in one box. So man, that is certainly something. 5 different knives. Let's see. Kaiser, this one is unlabeled, so is that one. Okay, so we got 3 Kaisers and 3 unlabeled ones. Let's check out the this other knife right here. Similar deal as our last one that we just looked at, so I'm thinking it might be the same brand, and that is the Pickled Steel, right? What model could this one be, right? The last one we looked at was called the Rhino, and this one's called the Warhog. All right, I'm loving these names, by the way. The Warhog, right? We got the knife there, and then we have the wiping cloth, right? Nice and sealed. We have a wire pocket clip. That's nice. So that's a backup clip. We have a T6, T8 tool, and we have some Omega springs. So this one is a crossbar lock. That's interesting. A spare screw for the pocket clip. That's nice. Again, that's awesome to see on a budget knife. I'll tell you, there's companies these days that are dropping premium knives and they don't often bother to add additional hardware, additional Omega springs or what have you. But here's a budget knife where they are actually bothering to do it. So awesome job. Pickled steel, right? This is a D2 Warhog. And first impressions, what we're dealing with here, aluminum, right? When I say these are aluminum scales with stainless steel liners, which are proud. They're matching black. So that's interesting. We have some micarta inserts. These are green micarta inserts. And I love already, right off the bat, I love the sort of red accents going on. We got what looks to be like an aluminum pivot color in red on both sides. And then the thumb studs are also red as well, like anodized aluminum. There we go. So aluminum thumb studs, right? Matching red. Digging the aesthetic so far. It is a crossbar lock, and it's a thick boy. It is definitely a thick knife indeed. Check that out. So yeah, without further ado, let's get this thing open. Here we go. Boom. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. So it definitely gives me like sheepdog from Kaiser sort of vibes, right? Not saying anything about nobody copying anybody. I'm just saying the beefiness, right? The fact that it looks so like rugged, savage looking. And this is the Warhog, right? As compared to the Rhino model that we looked at. Pretty heavy blade there. Let's check out the drop. Got a satisfying click on the close. All right, easy to actuate that crossbar lock, by the way. Got a stub pin there and click, right? That feels nice and robust, right? Nice, good lock up right there. And we can also, of course, use the thumb stud for thumb deployment. I'm feeling like we can reverse flick here with the nail, which is my favorite, other than an actual opening hole on the blade. You know, reverse flicking with my nail here. Bam! That is, you know, my second favorite way to reverse flick, with the meat of the index, with the meat of the middle finger being my least favorite way. But I feel like you could still do it here if you wanted to. There we go. But yeah, definitely quite a bit of room in between the handle and the thumb stud, so that helps. Bam. And yeah, first impressions here is you have a chunk of blade, a knife that sort of gives you the vibes that we are ready to do some work, right? That's exactly what you get here. The vibes on the blade here. We have a black wash D2 blade, which is good because D2 is not corrosion resistant in composition, so this black wash definitely helps. D2 Warhog printed on there. We have probably a designer logo printed on this side. Then we have the Pickled Steel SP logo on this side. And why is it SP and not PS for Pickled Steel? I don't know. You tell me. But they did it that way. That being said, it is a flat grind going on. You have a swedge going on here towards the front, up here as well, on what looks to be a sheep's foot blade. Get the blade police out here if anything. But yeah, other than that, good satisfying action off of that crossbar lock, to say the least. Very easy to open and close. A pretty substantial amount of blade right there. So, to ergonomics. So first things first, you know, the default grip with this curvature right there, right? Index finger goes in there. All the fingers follow suit. I have average hands, not the biggest, not the smallest of hands. And again, it is girthy. The girthy handle right there. So I can feel the thickness. Right, it definitely feels the hand pretty well, right? Ergonomically speaking, it's pretty good. The pocket clip, being a wire clip, definitely helps. I want to say it might be a little bit more, a tad bit more uncomfortable, yes, than the Rhino that we just looked at, by the way. So I'm going to do a size comparison in just a moment. I feel what it is, you know, the spread is so far apart and so highly raised, it kind of digs into my hand a little bit. So second 8.5 out of 10. In my book, it is reversible, which is nice, right? Shout out to Pickled Steel for doing that. It is a ambidextrous knife, as you can see here. I'm doing it with my left hand, right? So it makes sense that they do a reversible pocket clip, and it is deep carry too, right? About maybe the peak of the handle is going to show, if anything, but I much prefer this pocket clip. Found this one to be a little bit more comfortable so far. And yeah, let's just check them out here side by side, right? You got the Rhino on top and the Warhog underneath. Now, if I had to take a wild guess right now, I'm willing to say the Warhog is probably going to cost a tad bit more, right? For one thing, you have the kind of the aluminum bolsters with the micarta insert, right? You got the little accent colors in the pivot and thumb studs. So I don't know, it's my educated guess as compared to the 14C28N G10 version. Now, if you ask me, I'm more of a fan of 14C28N over D2, right? This one is on D2. The Rhino is on 14C28N. Also like the satin finish over the black wash. But again, these are personal preferences. Both of these knives right now are looking very, very like interesting, right? Very wild, out of the ordinary designs, to say the least. And did I mention you could probably forward choke on this bad boy? Yes, you can, right? Got a nice section right here from the corner of the edge to this peak there, and you could probably put your middle finger here, and a forward choke. And yeah, make use of this whole curvature right here to put your thumb here, 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 whatever you want, right? And then just boom, go to work with this thing. Feels like the kind of knife that is ready to do some cutting, ready to do some action. That's exactly what I'm looking at right there. And boom, that forward choke feels good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. As for the standard grip, you have a nice combination of jimping, both on the blade and on the handle itself. All right, take a look at that for a moment right there. That feels good, okay. Reverse grip feels a little bit awkward, I think because of this little peak section right there on the handle. What feels good is that Friday night gas station grip, fighting for your Slurpee. If you're Kevin right there, you're good to go, locked in. And then Pickled, right, this is not a knife for Pickled grip. That's just a little bit awkward right there, to say the least. But, I mean, I'm liking the action already, right? Got a little ting. A little thing to it on the way back. All right, that feels good. And it's nice and aligned right there. Check that out. All right, good alignment going on there. And yeah, man, other than that, again, very, very like savage, out of the ordinary design, right? Let's do some other size comparisons against some of the other EDC knives here on the channel, right? There's your PM2, right? In case you own any of these, sort of gives you, right, an idea there. There's your Para 3. So the Warhog here is going to be very, you know, comparable to the Para 3, although a tad bit bigger. But yeah, definitely closer to the Para 3 than the PM2. Here's the Demko AD 20.5. All right, very comparable, although it's going to be a little bit shorter. Here's the Shark Cub, smaller brother of the AD 20.5. Also going to be a tad bit shorter. You guys take a look there. All right, speaking of budget knives, here's a very popular knife from last year. Two very popular models, actually, the Civivi Vision FG and the Sentinel Strike. All right, Sentinel Strike is going to be bigger, no doubt. And the Vision FG is actually perhaps the one that compares to it the most, although being a little bit longer than the Warhog itself. And last but not least, here's the very popular CJRB Pyrite and the Raccoon. So the Raccoon compares to it the best, I think. Yeah, I think it's about the same length, whereas the Pyrite is a little bit shorter. Again, the idea here is just to give you a ballpark so you know more or less where the knife lands size-wise. All right. But man, let's do our very, it definitely has a little bit of weight to it, by the way. So I'm noticing that right now. There is some milling going on the stainless steel black liners there, but definitely a little bit of weight to it, which again, it makes sense. You have a thicker blade, thicker handle, right? These aluminum handles are on the thick side. So now for our very scientific cutting test, we're going to cut some paper here. And let's see here. All right, that was a good cut. Bam, all the way through that time. All right, cut right there on that one. There we go. Boom. Bam. Yeah, this thing is going to cut paper, no doubt. I mean, as most knives do. Now, this is not a, it is a factory edge, but it's not a brand new edge, right? So I've already seen some work, more or less. So that's something to factor in. Now, let's cut some everyday cardboard. This was from an Amazon box. What I like about this one is there is a section that has a single wall, and there's a section that has the dual wall cardboard. So we'll get a chance to compare those two. When cutting cardboard, remember not to cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle like that. So it's going to look something like this. Here we go. All right. As you can see, it goes through the single wall very easily. The dual wall cardboard gets a little bit more challenging. Oh, there's even a third wall right here as well, a third layer. So that gets really interesting right there. So this piece is very easy, as it is for most knives. A bit more challenging, then very challenging right here towards the end. But I mean, it still does it. It definitely still does it with no issues. I think out of most knives, this is certainly the kind of knife I can see myself using for long periods of time, destroying cardboard or what have you. Because I mean, it's a pretty good slicey blade, and also a pretty, you know, decently thick blade at the same time. So you kind of get the best of both worlds right there. I'm gonna do them from the side now. All right, take a look at that. And one last one. There we go. Are you guys ready in the comments? How sharp is this guy on a scale from 1 through 10? Right, 10 being the sharpest, of course. Again, keep in mind, it's not a brand new edge. It's already seen some use. So let me know how much of an edge this guy has retained in the comments. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the Warhog from Pickled Steel. All right, again, a company doing a debut here in the channel for the first time. So far, we've looked at two of their models. All right, this one being the Warhog. This one is the Rhino. Check out the unboxing on this one if you haven't already done so. All right, this one's a little bit more of a larger EDC knife, more wicked looking blade. And this one's a little bit more of a taller blade, a little bit thicker on the handle situation here. So yeah, very interesting models to say the least. All right, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm glad that we're checking out this brand here for the first time. Definitely a new one to feature here in the channel. Let me know what kind of questions do you have that you want to find out for a review, or just questions in general that you may have about this knife. Of course, you guys already know the drill by now. I'm going to be carrying the knife here for some time, trying to gather as much feedback as I possibly can so I can drop a comprehensive review video here in the channel in the very near future. All right, this was just an unboxing, first impressions, reactions video. So far, you just saw me take them out of the box for the first time. So all first impression reactions basis, but the review video on these are going to be coming up here very soon. If you found value out of this video, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps the video with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I promise you it'll be worth coming back for more. I make knife and EDC content like this on a daily basis. And if you want to support the channel a step further, there's a link for Patreon down below, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. Now, if you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for hanging out with me until the end here. It means a lot to me. I'm going to put a card right here on your left for the Rhino from the same company. And then I'm going to put a card right here on your right for another Rhino model, but in this case from Remette Knives. That's going to be right here on your right. So check that one out as well. Some interesting models here for you guys in the budget category. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Take care, and I'll catch you guys on the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.